Sometimes, life is dictated by the absolute terrifying reality of simply being in the wrong place at the exact wrong time. Today, we're diving into an explainer that requires us to drop the usual upbeat energy. We need to take a really stark, somber look at a deeply tragic true crime story. It's a story that absolutely shatters you. We're exploring the senseless murder of Aya Hachem.
Put yourself there. May 17th, 2020, Blackburn, Lancashire. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a quiet, sunny Sunday. People are just walking up and down King Street, going about their day. A 21-year-old woman steps outside. She has books in her hands. She has her entire future laid out ahead of her. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, a car slows down as it approaches. The window rolls down, a gun appears, shots ring out. Aya falls to the ground in broad daylight. Pure panic sets in. Just like that, in a split second, a life is completely shattered.
The immediate question that haunts a chaotic, bloody scene like this is, who was the target? Why her? Well, the agonizing reality we have to confront today is that she wasn't. Aya Hachem was completely innocent. She was never the intended victim. She was just there, caught in the literal crossfire of a violent dispute that had absolutely zero to do with her. She was simply a bystander to someone else's war.
To truly grasp the profound, heartbreaking irony of this tragedy, we have to understand Aya's journey. Back in 2011, Aya and her family fled war-torn Lebanon. They left behind a life of deep instability, desperately crossing continents to find sanctuary, and they believed they had found it in the United Kingdom. Blackburn was supposed to be their safe haven. Just think about that. The agonizing tragedy here is that she escaped a literal war zone, only to be struck down on a sunny Sunday afternoon on a busy English street. There's this one heavy, devastating sentence that really encapsulates this brutal reality. She survived Lebanon, but she could not survive Blackburn. You know, Aya wasn't just passing through life. By 2020, she had blossomed into a highly driven law student at the University of Salford. Her professors and peers celebrated her as one of their brightest minds. She was literally just weeks away from successfully finishing her academic year. All her survival, her relentless hard work, her vibrant dreams of the future, all of it was violently extinguished in a fraction of a second by someone else's bullet.
So, if not Aya, who was actually supposed to die that day? The intended target was Pacha Khan, a local businessman who just happened to be standing nearby on King Street at that exact fatal moment. And the man who ordered his death? Feroz Suleiman, the manager of a rival tire business. We're not talking about a cartel war here. This wasn't some deep political conspiracy. It was a petty, ruthless dispute over selling tires. In Feroz Suleiman's world, you apparently didn't settle disputes through lawyers or in courtrooms. You settled them with bullets. He made a call, he hired a hitman, and he ordered an execution.
And this wasn't a rash, spur-of-the-moment mistake made by one angry person. 7 men were involved in planning and executing this cold-blooded murder. Feroz Suleiman ordered the hit. Zamir Raja was the hitman brought in to do the job, the man who actually pulled the trigger, his aim failing him and hitting Aya instead. Then you have the fellow conspirators, Anthony Ennis, Ayaz Hussein, Abubakar Satya, Uthman Satya, and Kashif Manzoor. 7 men, 1 totally innocent victim, 0 remorse. And we absolutely must mention Judy Chapman. She knew exactly what was being planned, and she did absolutely nothing to stop it. She chose to be a willing accomplice to this nightmare. Justice, however, came down upon them like a swift hammer. A grueling 12-week trial unfolded at Preston Crown Court, and it laid bare the sheer callousness of their plot. The evidence presented against this network was overwhelming and undeniable. On August 3, 2021, the verdict was delivered. All 7 men were convicted of murder. Just 2 days later, life sentences were handed down to every single one of them. Judy Chapman was cleared of murder, but convicted of manslaughter, receiving a 15-year prison sentence. 8 people involved in a senseless conspiracy. 8 people rightfully locked away.
But as we look at the cold, hard facts of the trial, we have to remember that no verdict, no matter how severe, can ever bring Aya back. She's not a crime statistic. She was a daughter, a student, a dreamer. We need to return our focus to her humanity. She crossed oceans to build a new life. She wanted to become a lawyer so she could make a real difference in the world, to help those who couldn't help themselves. She became a victim of someone else's petty greed. Her name deserves to be remembered for the beautiful legacy she leaves behind, and not just the tragic ways she was taken. So I'll leave you with this. Will we allow the darkness of this crime to overshadow the bright light of her dreams? She was a dedicated, passionate young woman whose life was stolen in the most senseless, random way imaginable.
We explore these dark stories not just to understand the facts of a crime, but to bear witness. To ensure that lives lost to such careless violence are never forgotten, we do it to honor the victims. Remember Aya Hachem.